right now at 6. New school year, same situation.
If you're a parent of a kindergartner and with a second or third grader, you're going to want to make sure that your child can walk safely to school.
The county commissioner who's saying both the city and county need to pick up the pace.
Then, tragedy at a neighborhood pool.
It's shocking. I was like, what are you talking about? It's really, really scary.
As parents react to an apparent drowning on the last day of summer break.
Plus, it's the forecast that's calling for cash. So how much will it rain in the biggest kicker in Oregon's history?
Thank you for joining us. I'm Laurel Porter.
And I'm David Mulco, and we begin with students headed back to the classroom in Portland and city crews clearing homeless camps along key routes to school. It is a safety issue for many families, though in some spots that work does not appear to be happening fast enough. For example, this is what it still looks like near Kellogg Middle School with shopping carts and tarps blocking the sidewalk.
Let's bring in Blair Best outside Cleveland High School, which has been a recent trouble spot for homeless issues. Blair?
David, Laurel, this sidewalk off Southeast Powell Boulevard is often used by high school students. It connects Cleveland High to the athletic fields. And when we were here last week, this whole section was covered in tents, RVs, and trailers. And while it's cleared now, that's not the case for many other sidewalks in front of other schools across Portland. Students head back to the classroom this month, a sign of change that reaches beyond school grounds.
It's a great idea they're being cleared. They should not be near school at all.
Robert is homeless and camps near a Southeast Portland elementary school. He watches as crews remove a camp that got too close to the playground.
They should know better, you know?
This time last year, Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler prohibited homeless camping on streets that K-12 students use to walk to school. All month, city crews have been removing camps that violate this rule, but many remain. On Wednesday morning, camp removal crews were out here along I-205 North, removing homeless camps that are right next to Oliver Lent Elementary School. Now, we also understand that the school asked ODOT to replace this fencing here for safety reasons and to make sure that homeless camps aren't blocking access for students walking to school. It's a growing problem that's caught the attention of Multnomah County Commissioner and Portland Public School Board member Julia Brim Edwards.
So it's important that our kids feel safe on their ways to school.
She took to social media this week, pointing out schools still surrounded by camps, like this one next to Kellogg Middle School.
I think it's terrible. I think they have to figure out something to do with them.
I'm a parent of three kids, and I always think, and I also went to Portland Public Schools. I walked to school every day for 9 years, and I know it's important that our kids have the ability to walk to school.
But it's also no secret that, yes, they can clear these camps, but what's stopping the camps from just coming right back?
Well, one of the things the city and the county need to make sure there's adequate shelter space.
And that, of course, Blair, raises that question of where we are in this seemingly never-ending conversation about shelter space.
That's right, David. And we know that the city has enough money to open 2 more of those large sanctioned campsites, in addition to the one that's filling up in Southeast Portland. We're expecting them to announce those locations soon. But then there's still that big question of all that unspent county money, $65 million meant for homeless services. And the vote on how to direct those funds is coming up early next month. David.
Thank you, Blair. Let's get to your headlines now, beginning in Clark County, where the first day of classes were canceled in the Evergreen School District as more than 1,600 teachers there hit the picket lines. That came after the teachers union and administrators failed to reach a deal on a contract. And similar to teachers in the neighboring Camas district who have been on strike since Monday, their demands include raises to cover the rising cost of living, more resources, and smaller class sizes.
Most of them are hovering around the 29 number, which for any of you that have been around 29 kids, I've been coaching for 25 plus years. That's a tough number to wrangle without somebody else in your room.
Well, teachers and administrators in Southwest Washington's largest district are back at the bargaining table, but as far as we know, there has been no deal. Meanwhile, battleground students were back in the classroom today after teachers there decided not to strike, at least not yet, while they also negotiate their own contract.
Investigators are working to figure out what caused a TriMet bus to cross the street and crash into a tree this morning. It happened about 8 at Northeast 45th and Gleason. 6 people on board were hurt. 4 were taken to the hospital, including the bus driver, who has serious injuries. TriMet says these kinds of crashes are extremely rare, fortunately. Transit police are investigating the cause of the crash.
In Salem, 3 people are recovering after a large tree branch came crashing down on a food truck. This was Tuesday on the north end of downtown. A witness says a group of school bus drivers in training were at the Tin Roof Bistro food truck on their lunch break when the branch suddenly tumbled onto the truck's roof and also crushed a car. 3 people, including 2 inside that truck, were injured and taken to the hospital. No word on how seriously they were hurt.
A tool to keep guns out of the hands of those who may be a risk to themselves or others is rarely being used in Oregon. The so-called red flag law took effect in 2018. In its first 3 years, out of more than 64,000 requests for protective orders filed by people seeking safety from stalkers and abusers, less than 1% included a request to temporarily remove firearms. Oregon's gun homicide rate is below the national average, but the rate of suicide by gun is 42% higher. Tonight at 11, we'll break down which counties are using the protective order the most.
And an update now on wildfires, with cooler and wetter conditions helping firefighters slow the growth of the Camp Creek fire. That is the one burning in the Bull Run watershed in Clackamas County. Cruising conditions have also slowed the spread of blazes in eastern Lane County. Now east of the Cascades, the weather has been dry, the winds gusty still. A fast-moving fire south of Dufur is now out after burning nearly 1,000 acres yesterday. No structures there were lost. Further to the east in Sherman County, a blaze that forced the evacuation of Cottonwood Canyon State Park and charred 4,000 acres is also now out. That park has since reopened.
Right, and some of the rain that we've seen the past couple of days certainly helping these fires, getting them a little bit more under control, but we've seen a little bit of a break in the clouds. Let's take a look at Lincoln City. Right now, 72 degrees, pretty warm for the coast, and you can see we're still seeing some sun out there. There's still some folks out there enjoying it, that's for sure. It's also warm here in the metro area, about 76 degrees in Portland, 77 in Vancouver. Let's take a look around the state right now. Again, we're in those high 60s here on the coast, 72 in Hood River, and back down to those 70s on the eastern side of the state. So a little bit cooler the past couple days, and it's going to stay cool the next couple. We're also going to see some rain, more consistent heavy rain tomorrow. Talk more about that in your 7-day forecast coming up.
Thank you, Ashley. We want to get to a tragedy now in Northeast Portland, where for the first time in nearly 40 years, someone has died after swimming in a Portland public pool.
Thomas Schultz is here now. Thomas, this was at the Montevilla Community Center pool, and sadly, we understand involved a young girl.
Yeah, David and Laurel, it did. Parks and Rec Department officials say the girl was found unresponsive in the Montevilla pool on Friday. Staff performed CPR and she was taken to a hospital for further treatment. But a couple days ago, she died. Parents of other young children say it's hard to believe what happened at the popular community pool.
It's shocking. I was like, what are you talking about? It's really, really scary. It's sad.
As temperatures cool and summer fades, families are switching gears. Taking kids to swing sets instead of pools. But in the summer heat, Sarah Bialgany says she and her young family spend plenty of time at the Montevilla pool. Her kids take swim lessons here. But earlier this week, staff say the pool was drained. Days after Parks and Rec officials say a girl was found unresponsive in the pool. Parks officials say it's the first apparent drowning at a Portland pool since 1985.
I've been here for many years. I've never seen anything like that. It's one of our fear as a mother.
In a statement, City Commissioner Dan Ryan, who oversees the Parks and Rec Department, says his thoughts are with the family and the community. Parks and Rec Director Adina Long says she's heartbroken. In a statement, Long says she has directed Parks and Rec to investigate the apparent drowning and see what they can learn from the tragic incident.
It's very scary and very sad.
Christine Thomas says the pool generally has lots of lifeguards keeping watch. Parks and Rec officials say there were 2 lifeguards present Friday.
It's like a team effort with the lifeguards is how I feel about it, the lifeguards and the parents.
As Thomas spends the day with her 2 young girls, she says this tragedy reinforces her concerns about her children in the water.
I'd say we're OCD about our kids around water, and this just reminds me that that's a good thing, you know?
We don't yet know the name or age of the child who died. It's also not clear yet how long the girl was in the water before she was given CPR. David?
I mean, your heart really goes out to this family and really everyone involved here.
Certainly does.
Thank you, Thomas.